I the a-hole for telling my in-laws it was on them to explain to their guests why there weren't any places for them at my wedding reception? I think the title has all the information. I married my husband last weekend after about a year of planning. The ceremony went off perfectly, even with the kids in the church. The formal photos weren't delayed. No one got drunk or wrecked anything. Nobody insisted on bringing their emotional support goat. The only hitch was with my in-laws, who invited about 10 extra people without telling us. Not relatives or anything, just friends of theirs we did not invite since we didn't know them. I did not notice them at the ceremony, and it wasn't until the reception that there were issues. There was no seating for them. Well, yeah, that's kind of how things work. Our best man and groomsman found a folding table and chairs for them to sit at. That's very accommodating. There was food. We went with a buffet, but since we sent the tables to eat by number and they didn't have a number, they were sent last after everything had been picked over. My in-laws were embarrassed that their friends were being treated this way. Treated what way? They weren't guests. I very politely asked them what they expected when they invited people without telling the people who were planning and paying for the wedding. Yeah. They said we needed to go to apologise for their treatment. I said I would, but I would also explain that they had not actually been invited. If they wanted their guests told anything else, then they could go and do it and explain themselves. They are very upset with me. My husband has my back 100%. I think I could have been more gracious, but I also think it should not have fallen on us to deal with. Am I the a-hole? Yeah, 100%. That is not on you. I'm just surprised you did deal with it so graciously when you could have just kicked them straight out your wedding, which I think most of us would have done. You don't owe them anything. You don't have to justify your actions. It's your wedding. They weren't invited. The kind of audacity that your in-laws think they can just invite people to a wedding that they've not run by you is pretty crazy. Yeah, just as well your husband has your back 100%. Otherwise, you might be regretting your life choices right about now. So, yeah, absolutely, unequivocally, not the a-hole. Original post by frnda. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister what not to name her daughter? My wife and I have been trying to have a baby for several years. We went through IVF, 2 miscarriages, and when we finally got a viable embryo, we found out the baby, a girl, had brain damage incompatible with life and had to get an abortion in week 16. Yeah, that's horrible. We were absolutely devastated. We now have 2 healthy boys, but we haven't forgotten our baby girl and think about her often and leave candles at the cemetery, etc. Oh well, that's not so bad. My sister is 9 months pregnant and wants to give her baby the same name as our dead daughter. It's a bit morbid, kind of messed up, I'm not going to lie. I've told her several times that the name is off limits and to choose another one, but she's just texted me and my mum asking what we think about her shortlists of 3 names, and that name was still on it. I've told her off and demanded she takes it off the list. She refuses to talk to me about it and wants to do as she pleases. So who's the a-hole here? Yeah, that's not a nice one. Obviously I don't know the family politics. I don't know where that name's came from, if it's a family name or it's got any connection to somebody else. But I think it's kind of morbid and a bit disrespectful that your sister would be willing to upset you as much as she clearly is, with absolutely no consideration for your feelings, and go ahead and potentially name your niece after your dead daughter. I mean, of all the names out there, I mean, there's so many. There's so many you could pick. Like, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to name your own child after your own deceased niece? I don't get it. It it's poor taste at best. Darn right nasty at worst. So for me personally, I think absolutely not the a-hole. I think your sister's bang out of line, to be honest. Um, I, I'm not a fan. Original post by Nefariousness False 17. Am I the a-hole for telling my girlfriend I don't want her to come camping with me? My girlfriend is a real homebody and she doesn't really enjoy doing outdoors activities often. So every other week or so, I like to take the weekend to go camping on my own because there are some pretty great views to see where I live. So I usually head out around Saturday morning and drive a few hours out to a campsite. And then I spend the night camping and ride my dirt bike down some trails the next day. And then I come back around 5 or 6 the following day. So this weekend, I was packing my bags to head out for Saturday, and my girlfriend asked me, what do you even do all the time while you're out there? I told her what I did, and she went, that can't be all you do. That seems so boring. Don't you go to a restaurant or something? I told her, nah, that's really all I do when I head out, and she didn't believe me. So she wanted to tag along with me on this weekend's trip. I told her that I didn't want her to come since I know she won't enjoy herself and she'll be miserable, and also because it's my disconnect and bringing people along with me kind of defeats the purpose. She got sad since she assumed that I was only doing it so I could spend time away from her, which isn't true, and she refuses to believe me now. Am I the a-hole? To be honest, yeah, you kind of are the a-hole. I think some people have a different opinion on this than me, but you've not really given a good background in regards to kind of previous incidents. But if she's not really been with you to any of these outings or these kind of weekends away, which you admittedly say you take regularly, then what is the harm in bringing her along? For one, she's clearly curious. She clearly wants to know what you get up to. You never know, she might enjoy it. She probably won't. You're probably right. She'll probably come along, have a crap time, and you'll be like, yeah, told you so. But yeah, at least that puts the nail in the head. It means she won't be coming the next time, and she'll be quite content. You'll be quite happy. And then the next 300 weekends away will be sorted. So yeah, I think you're being a bit selfish and a bit narrow-minded to not allow her to come for one weekend. Do you know what I mean? She is your girlfriend. It's not that difficult. It can't be that hard to disconnect or not get to disconnect properly for 1 week, you know? So yeah, just suck it up. Take your girlfriend, make the most of it, try and enjoy yourself as best you can, and just see where it goes, you know? So yeah, I mean, you're not a massive a-hole, but you're the a-hole here.